Welcome back to another episode of the Randy Wilson Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Wilson. This is episode 42 of Joey Gallo.
What's cracking, yo? What's good, man?
Hey,
Pressure made me stronger. It'll never level me. The pain you endure to solidify the legacy. Music, how they treasure me. Looking back on my life. Mom's working 3 jobs just so we could eat right. High school Pac-Man, yeah, I used to move light. Made a week's lunch money every 3 nights. Shit real, but you ask why I gotta fight. I'm just trying to take over the world, my nigga.
hey, it's good to have you here, sir.
Yes, sir, man.
It's
Good to be here, yo. Good to be here.
It's been a long time coming because this is one that I wanted to do a long time ago, and I didn't have the rapport. And when we connected, it was like, oh, I'm coming outside for this one.
Yeah. Like when as soon as you told me, you was like, yo, I'm gonna come outside for this one. I was like, what? Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. Like, let's get it, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more comfortable. I mean, I am and I'm not. You know, because we see things are getting worse.
Yes.
You know,
man,
but
listen, super words.
hey, my heart is invested in this, so I feel like
Right.
when there's something that just makes sense, you gotta move on it. Not to dismiss
Facts.
any of the shows that I've not done outside,
Right.
quite frankly, but I mean, I think the world has been inside. It ain't been easy. We were
Yeah.
just talking before the
Yeah,
show,
true
like
that.
you can't even get videographers easily outside right now.
Man, listen, I was shooting a video last night, and we was talking about just the struggles as an artist with trying to navigate through these times. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't do your shows the way you want to. Something as simple as videos now is tough because if you're trying to get other people in the video, it's like, I don't know who you been around.
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
I can't jeopardize my state of being and where I'm at
Yeah.
just to try to get some aesthetics for a video. Like,
Yeah.
I would jeopardize it for anything else, but this COVID,
Yeah, it's been real.
this joint headhunting.
It's been
so
real.
I can't jeopardize that.
But you've been working, and we're gonna make sure we bring it to the surface today because we know that the new album's coming soon. We're gonna
Yes,
get into
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
For those of you who are tuning in, you can follow this podcast on YouTube and all podcast channels. It will air on YouTube first, though, and we'll probably keep it on YouTube for a good month, and then we'll put it out on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Apple, all those other places. And you can also hear the podcast at randywilsonpodcast.com. Also subscribe to the Instagram as well. Joey, make sure you give them your handles as well so they can find you.
Yes. IG Joey Gallo, JoeyGallo. You can check me on YouTube under Joey Gallo. You can go to iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, all of those streaming outlets. Look for Joey Gallo, JoeyGallo. The nigga with the $1 million smile. I ain't hard to find.
Yeah. So look, man, we got a lot to get into.
Facts.
We're gonna talk about music, but one of the things I try to pride with the podcast is going beyond the music and getting the audience more familiar with the man. And
love
I gotta ask this question.
Okay,
Man.
okay.
Is Joey your real name?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because you know I'm researching.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
Joey Gallo was that guy.
Yeah. Nah. That ain't my real name. And it's crazy how the joint came to pass because I watched a documentary on the gangster, Joey Gallo, when I was younger, like extremely younger, maybe 13, 14. And I just seen how meticulous he was about his respect and nobody getting over on him. Like, I remember them telling a story about how one time he was in like a card game or some type of gambling situation as a kid, and somebody got over on him for like $5, and he came back 20 years later and shot the dude in the kneecaps in the bathtub. And yeah, that's graphic, but the point is he was meticulous about his money. He was meticulous about respect. And that aspect of it kind of like gravitated to me. So I said, yo, you know what? I think I'm going to run with this. The crazy part, here's the parallel universe like the battle rapper Danny Meyer say. My uncles in Jersey told me that when my dad was ripping and running the street, that was the name he went by.
For Joey Gallo?
Joey Gallo.
And you didn't even know that?
I didn't even know that.
That's
One of
crazy.
my uncles was like, yo, where you get that name from? Like a long time ago. And I was like, yo, tell him the whole story. He was like, man, that's what we used to call your dad back in the day, Crazy Joey, because he used to do because Joey Gallo, the mobster Joey Gallo, he was crazy.
Yeah.
Like he would go off the handle quick, hence the story I just told. And he was like, yo, that's what we used to call your dad. So it's just funny. Then when I went to my pops, he was like, yeah, that's crazy. And I was like, yo, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I had to see what was behind the name. It's always interesting to me to learn how people arrive with their name, their artist name.
Man, I had so many corny names too prior to that. Sheesh, we're not going down there. Yeah, you know how that go.
It's been Joey Gallo for 20 years at least, right?
Facts.
So, so many places. Before we get into talking about the new album and Blue Collar Gang, the label, you got the Golden Chariots and the Golden Chariots. Am I saying that right?
Golden Chariots, yeah.
And the Gallery. Those are the two albums that I'm most familiar with, the recent projects. Okay. And you seem to be really meticulous too with the content you create when it comes to video.
Yeah.
It's I've listened to the new album, which everyone's going to get a chance to as well.
Facts.
And you're a different type of artist. We was talking before the show about writers need to be. It's important to be readers as well.
Definitely.
And I kind of see that in your artistry from a musical end, but I also see what comes with that on the visual side as well. So it's not surprising to me to see how well you do in these spaces.
Yeah, I'm a man. Listen, anybody that know me never been shy in front of that camera.
Yeah.
So like these moments for me, like how we were talking off camera, it's a lot of artists. Some of your dopest artists, like you may really love their music, but in person, you'd be like, yo, I would never be cool with this person.
Yeah.
Or like, yo, this person. It's kind of corny, or they kind of whack, or like they get frozen. Yeah. It's no knock on them. Some people just aren't face-to-face type of people, but me, I love that. So that just plays into the music and the visual point, because I'm a visual person, man. I'm a Pisces, man. Pisces, we very visual people. I see things before anything.
Okay.
So I feel like it's a little bit easier for me to show it to you because it's how I see it in my head. But that's also a catch-22. That's also the toughest thing for me too, because I'm so critical, because it has to match what I see in my head.
So is that how you come up with your music? Like, do you see the song? Do you have the content here before you transcribe it, or is it like how do you get in your creative process?
Sometimes I have moments where I just can build it in my mind. And not a lot of times. Sometimes I have those moments, but for me, it hits the head, and then it goes to either me putting it in my phone or writing it down. Like, cause I don't want to limit myself. Like, I couldn't put the paper down and construct it in my mind, but I grew up in the 90s, so just the era of putting it down and looking at it and reciting it, it just feels more natural to me. And it comes across natural in the booth. Like, it doesn't sound like I'm reading it because I done visualized it in my head. Yeah. So when I'm putting it on the paper or when I'm putting it in the pen, I go through a verse 1 or 2 times and I probably got it memorized because I seen it in my mind. Like, I'm a visual person. Like, I'm not coming up with fabrications. Yeah. These is real accounts that I'm giving you, or stuff I seen, or things I want, how I'm putting it together, so it's easier for me to relate it.
I think it's valuable too. I mean, for artists when they write things down or they type them or whatever, and regardless of how they do it, because it's tender, loving care. It's showing your craftsmanship and how you're putting it together. You're not just going in there and nothing against those who just go in the booth and spit it, but it's different,
right?
And because you're giving yourself an opportunity also to evaluate, revise.
Exactly.
How do you want to say it?
Exactly. Sometimes you may want to switch words, like. You know what? Because I'm all about saying things differently. I don't want to say things the same way that everybody else says it. So how can I do this in a different way. I'm not big on likes and as with the similes. So how can I take like and as out of this and give you something else that can connect you to this thought right here without me even having to give you the simile aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you and Cole got a real good connection.
A lot of people
On
say
Spotify,
that,
I just put Joey Gallo in, and it seems like I got a few songs of y'all. Y'all songs just came together because then it spinned over to her list, and I wasn't going there, but it was something
and
about.
she crazy too.
Oh yeah, but y'all's energy is really good, and as I was telling before the show, I became familiar with you with the song that you did with I don't know where y'all performed that song at. I don't remember.
The Camel is where we did the video at.
Clef Dollars and Tamir Rock. That's when I first. That was 2000 and what, 8, 9 maybe?
Yeah.
Am I in the right time?
Yeah, maybe like 2008, 9, 10, somewhere around about that. And it's so crazy too because that whole journey for Clef, rest his soul, that whole journey for Clef was a transition. You know, like just him going from being just 100% hip hop to now. I mean, all of his music had a message, but now the message was a little bit more concrete and directional. It was more so like, okay, you know what? This is about, God. This is about my relationship with God, what he means to me. You know what I mean? Clef wasn't trying to win people over. He was just he was excited with his transition. And I was one of the people that got a chance to see that. So with that song, he was a little leery on the video. He was like, man, I don't know how people gonna relate to this. I don't know what they gonna do, man. Like it might not translate to people. Because all of us had the same thing on. He was like, people might not get it. So I told him, I said, man, Clef, fuck what people say. I said, as a matter of fact, and if you go back to the video, he got on a Polo Scully. That's my Scully. I gave it to him, and I told him, be the same person you are at any other show. Because the content is going to fly to the people. Like, Clef was one of the best people, performance-wise, that I ever seen. Like, I always would compare him to the likes of, like, Wyclef, Buster. People that when they get on the stage, they just captivate. Clef knew how to captivate. So me giving him that Scully was just that affirmation to slow it down. Like, be yourself. Don't let this transition and this transformation, it's bringing about a new you, but be the same you.
Yeah.
And I mean, that video is classic, man. He delivered in that joint.
It seems like you are one of the people, if not the person, that to me appeared to be probably one of the closest within the art community to Clef.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it's a lot of us, and we all had different dynamic relationships with Clef. Noah got a tattoo on his arm that say the Toro Boys, and that was a connection that him and Clef had. That's what they called themselves, the El Toro Boys. You know what I mean? That was a connection that he had. He had a connection with radio. He had a connection with Erica J, my man Kaneda. Like, he had a connection with Cheyenne. Like, just his connection to everybody was so different. You know what I mean? He made you feel that y'all connection was the best connection. Like, he always had that. You know what I mean? But I was the last person, and it's crazy because I put it in a song. Me, Illa, and my man Kaneda did an album called The Chronicles of Summer that I'm going to end up re-putting that joint out because that album was super fire. It's just music just dedicated to summertime. But I put in the song that Clef's last days on this earth, his last night on this earth, I spent with him. Like, and it was just a weird night. Like, I didn't understand it. I didn't even want to go over there, like, because I hadn't seen him in a minute because I built the studio in my crib. Because
this spot was always that spot.
It was always that spot, yo. And I'm just the type of person, man, where I incorporate how everybody else would feel too. Like, I've always been that way, especially if you close to me. So I would always think like, yo, Clef got niggas at his crib 24/7. That shit gotta be irritating sometimes. Even though it's what you love, you still want some you time.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, shoot, you know what I mean? Niggas still want to entertain the ladies, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? You
Yeah.
still want some you time. You don't want, like, Clef's crib was the pull-up crib. Whether
Yeah.
you did music or not, you pulled up to Clef crib.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to start building my own studio, number one, because I want my own to be able to record when I want to, but also to alleviate some stress from him. So I hadn't seen him in a minute since we went to Sam Ash, and he told me what to get, and he didn't help me hook it up at all. I was like, yo, you gonna help me? He said, man, ain't nobody help me. Fuck you. Those were his exact words, but that was love, though.
Yeah, it make
like,
you learn it, huh?
It make me learn it. So I learned it on my own. Like, I did an album called Audio Haze, and that album was me learning how to record. And I put an album together learning how to record. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't going to go over there, and he hadn't seen me in a minute because of that fact. And, man, when I got home, I just felt comfortable. I was like, I ain't going over there. And it's so crazy because a jolt just, like, picked me up off the couch. Like, nah, you going over there. So I was like, damn, all right, bet. Like, let me get up. So I got up, went over there, and he was shooting some footage with Cheyenne because they was working on the album together.
Shout her out, definitely.
Yeah, Cheyenne. Shout out to Cheyenne, yo. She's super dope. She out in L.A. doing dope stuff. You know what I'm saying? Good friend of mine from Jersey. A lot of people know her, man. She was on the, I think she did some vocals on the NWA soundtrack, I think. But anyway, she's super dope. They was working on the album like on some Lucy Pearl type vibe. So they was doing like documentary footage. And it's so crazy because, again, I just told you that Clef's house was the house.
Yeah.
Niggas that didn't do music came to Clef's crib to just chill out and watch us do music or catch the vibe or laugh and joke. Because, you know, we love to laugh and joke. Put something in the air with us, your drinks, whatever. You know what I mean? When Cheyenne and that crew left, nobody came to Clef crib. The whole time I was there from like 7:30 to... From like 7 to maybe like 11:30, midnight. Nobody knocked on the door.
It's a strange night, huh?
Nobody called Clef phone to pull up. Nobody said, yo, I'm on the way. Nothing. Like, Clef didn't even have to curve anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Normally, Clef would curve him like, yo, man, I'm kind of busy doing this. We didn't record nothing. We was in that joint for 4 hours. Just talking on life. I had introduced him to a friend of mine, you know what I mean? And he was saying, like, yo, Gallo, I think you might have introduced me to my wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we was just tripping on that. We was laughing because when I first introduced him, he asked me, did I hit the joint? Because he said, you know, all the ladies love you. Did you hear? I'm like, bro, no, I didn't hit the joint. Like, so we was tripping on that. He talked about his relationship with Noah and Radio. Like, outside of our crew, Noah and Radio was like two people that he really loved and cared about. So he talked about his relationship with them. Then we was just talking in general, man, and it was just so crazy because he was like, yo, I'm going to call Monse. Monse is one of our homeboys. What up, Say? He's a videographer. He's out in L.A. now doing crazy big things. Yeah, you probably seen. Yeah, Monse out there doing it. So we tried to call him on the FaceTime. FaceTime wouldn't work. The FaceTime wouldn't go through. Like, we couldn't get Monse. So we just was like, fuck it, we ain't going to talk to him. Later on, Monse told me the FaceTime couldn't work because that was my time with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Say said he had already had a 2-hour conversation with him like 2 or 3 days ago. So I was like, damn, that's crazy. But anyway, Clef is the type of dude that he wants to work hands-on. He never gave you a beat. He wanted you to work on the song right there. Like, he rarely like said, hey, I'm going to give you this beat and take it home and work. Because he's the producer. He wants to produce. Like, not just give you a beat and you do whatever, then you come and record it. Nah, like, let's create together. That's one thing he always was big on, creating. Use people like muses. Build off of each other. That night, he played a beat that was so crazy. and he gave it to me on disc when I asked for it. When he was burning the disc, his desk, you would be sitting behind him. I'm like, but I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it to myself, like, yo, Clef about to give me this beat. Like, this shit crazy. He don't never get beats up. You know what I'm saying? We talked about some other stuff, too. On my way leaving that joint, he dapped me up, and he had a conversation with me. I'll never forget what he said. He said, Gallo, he's like, yo, man, like, you younger than me. You my little brother, but I look at you like a big brother. He was like, people love you, women love you, dudes want to be around you, people appreciate who you are, you can always light up a room, your presence is bigger than anybody I know. He said, make sure you keep that, yo. And it kind of took me, because I was like, man, nigga, you drunk. All right, word up. Like I ain't paying no attention to it, you know what I mean? We had been smoking a little bit, drink. I'm like, nigga, you drunk. Like, I was just like, whatever.
Didn't realize that this was him saying goodbye.
Last conversation.
That's crazy.
And you know what my pops told me? Because my pops is a preacher now, and my pops told me that when you a special person, God lets you know when you get ready to go. And my pops told me that, and I was like, And my pops was like, that was him telling you, like, yo, like, this is my last night. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, this is a great piece for the gram right here, because we're talking about the legendary Clef Dollars.
Facts.
For those of you all who
the legendary
may
Clef.
not be familiar, Richmond's familiar, Virginia's familiar, and there's a lot of people familiar. But just in case you're not, that's who we're talking about, and we're gonna make sure we give them that clip.
Yes.
Because I haven't really, I mean, he has his mural, you know what I'm saying, in the city, and I mean, he's highly respected. I don't never heard anyone say anything else about him, but I don't know that we can give him. I don't know that we can give it enough flowers.
Yeah,
because if you look at where hip hop is right now in the city, you can't look at where hip hop is in the city without looking at Clef Dollars.
Clef was
his spirit still is within all of what's creating right now.
Clef got his deal around about the same time Skills got his first deal.
Who was his first deal with?
I want to say Atlantic. They had deals around about the same time. I think Skills maybe can correct me on time periods, because that was before me. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Clef used to tell us stories all the time. But, yeah, I think they got their deals around about the same time, because they was living in New York around about the same time. So, you know, two brothers from VA, because Clef was from Hopewell. You know what I mean? Two brothers from VA. And they kind of.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was from Hopewell.
Yep. Clef was from Hopewell, aka Dopewell at the time.
Did not know that.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, man, Clef done produced for Redman, Digging in the Crates, Sean Price. I mean, man, the list goes on. Like, Clef got a lot of production credits, and even here in the city, like, Clef was a man. For dudes like me, my man Kaneda, I mean Radio, Noah, Erica J, Mimi Velez, Cheyenne, Monse, Chance Fisher. Like, yo, my first time meeting Chance Fisher was through Clef. Like, him and Clef did a project together, like, and that's one thing that Clef was good at. Clef was, and he kind of made me want to be in those footsteps. Like, I felt like I was always kind of that way, but after he passed, it just made me want to be more that way. Like, Clef was like John Stockton or Magic Johnson. Like, he led the league in assists. Always about putting one person together with another person so they can meet and create. And I feel like I do that a lot. Like, because I'm all about that. Like, I'm not a selfish person. Like, I'm confident with who I am. So I want to see everybody else rise up. So if I see you doing something, I'm going to help you get it by putting you with somebody that can help you get it. And Clef was good at that. Clef was good at, yo, I'm not trying to put you under my wing and take you over, but let me give you some dope-ass beats because I think you dope.
Yeah.
And let me put you around other dope people. Like, that's how my relationships built with a lot of people, the Chance Fishers, the Garnett Boldens, man, I can name 50 million people. You know what I'm saying?
It seems like one thing from being an observer, you know, of the art scene that you have really done well is that you've made your imprint here, but you get in and out. Is I don't. No one can anticipate or expect that they're gonna see you at an event.
Oh,
Like you're not
yeah.
predictable. You
Oh,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Facts.
You're
Yeah,
not.
hell
You're
yeah.
not. You're not overly.
Hey, listen.
You're not overly visible on the gram.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You're not overly pressing social media. So it's like if they see you, they see you and they know. But you may be gone.
Hey,
You know
listen,
what I'm saying?
my uncles always told me, no pun intended, but your presence is a gift.
Yeah.
So that's how you gotta. I personally feel like I'm not mad at the people that overly flood. You know what I mean? Social media. Hey, I'm taking my steps out of here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing it. I'm not mad at that. Like, but I'm just the type of person where I feel like my presence is a gift. So I'm gonna be unexpectable because I'm gonna be unpredictable because I don't want you to. I mean, the opposite of it. I don't want you to predict what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't want you to know when I pull up here, I'm gonna see Gallo.
Yeah.
No, when you see me, you gonna greet me as such because you don't see me that often.
Yeah.
And I try to make it be that way because one, like I said, the presence is a gift, but also two, man, like the world is bigger than where we live.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to get used to seeing me. Like when I post pictures, you gonna see, oh damn, Gallo was in New York, Gallo was in Philly, Gallo was in LA, Gallo was in Jamaica, Gallo was here. He didn't flood the gram with these joints. I'm just posting because I'm visual. So I want my pictures to tell the story without me speaking sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I don't wanna have to tell you 40 million times that this where I'm at or this where I'm at. Like I just want to paint that picture. I'm sorry. I just want to paint that picture, and I want you to try to fill in all the details.
Your gram, it does that. It does that. Like I don't know. It's not like 1,000 pictures up there, but you see the range. You see it, and what we've seen, we've seen the relationship. Well, I don't know. I mean, we've seen something either become a relationship or there was a relationship. But we seen you on stage with Sally, and now we see you with Blue Collar Gang. You whipped the label, and I think the thing that's interesting to me, I'm interested to learn about that. But I think the thing that's interesting to me about it is that before it was official, we seen it in doses, and there's so many people that you may see them in a picture, but it don't pan into something. So I'm really interested in how that relationship evolved. Talk to me a little bit about Blue Collar Gang.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, make sure you know Stally, who once was signed by Ross. I don't know if he still is.
Yeah,
or not.
the whole MMG is still a crew, but as far as I think on the on the label side, I think they kind of like dissipated a little bit, but the crew is still there as far as everybody being tight and solid. But I just think from a putting out music standpoint, because I don't think Wale or Meek Mill.
It sound like Ross is good about letting people go get their money.
Yeah, because because Ross, I feel like it's the cycle of good business. Because Ross used to be with somebody, and then Ross started a crew, built the crew up, so now members can go on, branch, and build. Because Stally always had BCG. Like, you know what I mean? Like, always had the idea and the thought and the label, just like a lot of us. But he just decided to build on it and, you know what I mean, take it from there. But the crazy part, to start on that story, not to get off subject, but me and Clef was supposed to meet Stally together. Stally and Kendrick Lamar had came down to Richmond for the Music Matters BET joint. BET was sponsoring a tour. This was before Kendrick took off how he took off. This was before Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I'm saying? This is rigor mortis Kendrick. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is that Kendrick. So Clef had a BCD together. He was ready. We were so hyped. And he passed away like less than a week before we were supposed to meet Stally. So I told BJ is Clef's manager, my manager, good friend of mine. He also helped manage Stally. And I told BJ, I was like, man, I ain't want to even do nothing musically. I ain't trying to meet nobody or nothing, whatever. And then BJ was like, nah, yo, like, I feel you, but just still come and enjoy the vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, all right, bet. You know, it's Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick had the crew with him, too. So he had J-Rock with him. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'll be a fool to not go to this joint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would be a fool. So went to the joint, met Stolly, and just to fast forward, it was just an immediate brotherhood. Like, cause BJ said, like, yo, like, he's one of us. Like, BJ was like, yo, like, he's one of us. And by him saying that, I already knew what he meant. Like, one of us, like, one of the crew. Like, like, you know what I mean? He was one of us. Like, trust me, when you get around him, you gonna feel that. And I got around him, and I felt that. Like, we laughed and joked. He, like, battle rap. I love battle rap. He's a funny dude. Like, he don't show it much, but he kind of got, like, that, From what I hear about Fabulous, he kind of got like that Fabulous sense of humor. Like, he not gonna display it to you if he ain't cool, but if he's in a circle where he comfortable, I'm telling you, Stolly is a funny dude, bro. Super funny. So I'm a funny dude. I love to joke. I love to talk shit, and he loves sports. I love sports. So that right there kind of built like a little solid foundation on the lower end, and his relationship with BJ, like I said, BJ helped manage him, but BJ was also like a brother to him. So I'm like a brother to BJ. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I was the closest to BJ. BJ lives in like Northern Virginia. I'm in Richmond. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy Kaneda is in Jacksonville. Monse is in LA. Other friends is in New York and other places. So I was the closest. So when he was managing Stolly, he would be like, yo, come with me here. Come with me here, because we about to go here. We about to go there. Come with me to the MMG weekend in Atlanta. Come with me to Stolly's show with Lupe. Come with me here. Like, soak it up. Because I'm a talker. So once I, like I'm the kind of person where, like, yo, I'm going to sit back, and if I see, and I met a lot of people this way. Like, a lot of people. Like, if I see, a word, did they work for the Source? Oh, okay. I'm going up and I'm pulling up and I'm politicking. Like, one thing about me, the same way I am here, I'm that way with everybody. Like, me and Knife Wonder had an argument on Mama J's over Croker Spot. This is my first time meeting him. But we talking about, like, I'm like, nah, you crazy. This play, like I'm going to talk to him just like he one of my homeboys.
What, you was picking which restaurant was better?
Oh, nah. I went with Mama J's.
Okay.
He said Croker Spot.
Oh, based off what?
Well,
I love the catfish at Mama J's. The Croker Spot is historic. I mean, it is what it is. But I feel like if we talking about the cornbread.
And that's what I incorporated. I was like, you know what?
Talking about the cornbread.
Man, I got off subject with that. I was bringing that in just to say, like, you know, I'm comfortable, man. Like, I'm the type of person where I'm going to be myself no matter where I'm at.
Well, it's easy to, look, in listening to his music and listening to your music, you talked about the foundation was there. It's easy for me to see how musically y'all have y'all own similar ways. You know, different artists, different conversations, but some similar. You almost look like brothers,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So basically, that relationship authentically developed from.
It was super organic.
Yeah.
It was just super organic, and that joint grew from me meeting him the first time there till him telling BJ, like, yo, when you come from this, when you come up for this trip, or when you go, or when we get ready to do this press run, or when I'm getting ready to do this show, bring Gallo with you. Fuck with Gallo. Yeah. Bring him with you. You know what I'm saying? And then that grew to us going to smack events together. On the stage watching battles, because he know that I love battles too. So he like, yo, all of us is going to go. To the point where about maybe like a year ago, he was like, listen, I fuck with you. Like, you dope music. Well, let me rewind a little bit, because Stolly did a show in Richmond.
Yeah, I remember.
and I was on the bill with him. It was me, him, Mike, and Champ.
Yep.
That's a dope lineup too.
Yep.
But and it went from there to him seeing how people react in my city to my music, and you know how people respect me in my city. To like I said, like about a year ago, he was like, "Yo, you know what? I rock with your music. I rock with you. I look at you like a brother. Come on into the folds and let's help get you to where you trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Like let's all work together to help get you to where you trying to go." And I was like, yo, I'm blessed for that opportunity. Like, you know what I'm saying? I truly appreciated that. Like, it was a phone call. When he called me, man, I was super hyped. I was like, yo, man. So this is my first project under the imprint. So I'm just like, man, like.
So Blue Collar Gang's the label. Blue Collar Gang's the crew. Vantage Points is the album. I've already I've listened to it a few times. I listened to it when I'm working out. Man, I don't know. Let me pull up this real quick. I'm not gonna play anything.
Okay,
but
all right.
Man, I wish it was out already, because then I could talk a little bit better. But we don't. We got to give them something to wait for. The production. Let's start with the production.
Okay, so let's start there.
The production was on point.
IllMaestro, young producer from Richmond. He did all of the music on the gallery, all the production on the gallery. He did all the production for this joint. I met him through my cousin Rio. Rio is a writer from Richmond.
Is that he's an artist?
Rio then wrote for Fantasia, Tyrese.
So Rio,
Diddy.
not the rapper Rio.
No,
Okay.
not the rapper Rio.
Okay.
He's a producer from the city.
Okay.
And that's my cousin. So, you know, I would always ask him for production, because I'm like, man, we need to do something. And he said, yeah, we do. And then he said, man, we always so busy. When he free, I'm not. When I'm free, he not. So he said, yo, I'm going to introduce you to this producer. He dope. And I'm like, man, don't be trying to push no little has-been wannabe type niggas on me, man. He was like, nah, trust me. As soon as you link, you going to trust me. And we linked. He told me he was familiar with some of the like intros or times I've been on Power 92 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, word up. I gave him my vision, and he just started blessing me with the production for the gallery. And
this
is just the Vantage Points joint.
This is, I tell you
Maestro
what,
is
man.
Crazy, man.
This
Maestro. He did beats for Jordan Sparks. He on Styles P last album. Like, Maestro is fire, yo.
Man,
that's my brother, man. I love that dude.
Does Mike Millions mix and master all your music?
Yes.
He seems like he's the guy to mix and he's like the go-to mix and master. Is he the new Clef Dollars?
I mean, from a engineering standpoint, yeah. Like for me, I can't speak on nobody else's
everyone I speak to, they go to Mike for Mr.
Yeah.
That's you know, that's. I learned that late. Like, I knew about him as an artist, but you know, and I knew name brand from the producing standpoint. But it was late for me to catch on that was a piece of him.
He and it's so crazy because I didn't know Mike for 20 years, like for a lot of years. Like we met when we was both super young.
I checked out y'all's interview with Swerve De Niro from like 2006. Trap Star DJs interview.
Yeah, man.
It was y'all and who else was in there?
Was it Sean Chappelle?
Sean Chappelle was in there.
Sean Chappelle was there.
And somebody else. I'm trying to think.
I don't remember who the other people were.
Well, and Clef might have been in that
Clef
interview.
was there too. Clef was there too. Yes, he was. Clef was there. But yeah, Mike definitely mix and master all my stuff, man. He excellent with that joint. He got a great ear for it, and just watching him grow into this engineer is a beautiful thing. So he is like a Clef for me, yo.
Look, man, can we tell him a little bit about? Can we tell him?
So
you know, look, he got you got Nicholas F on the album.
Don't
tell him.
Don't give him that.
Don't give him that.
Nah, you know what? Go ahead.
Well, I'm not gonna give him too much. Can I give him two names?
Give him two names.
He got two Virginia folks on the album that did their justice. And I already said Nicholas F. on it.
All right.
But I ain't gonna say anything more.
Okay.
I liked what y'all did with that album though, because I was going into it expecting one thing, and I wasn't expecting what I got.
What you got?
And I was like, okay.
Okay. All right.
See, the way I listened to the album, I put it on shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't really listened to it like one through. I put it on
Right.
shuffle.
Right.
And I just wasn't expecting it to go that way. I heard something different with him on that verse.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that. And another one, I mean,
Go ahead.
the Chris Scala track.
That Scala joint.
That Chris Scala track.
That Chris Scala track is crazy.
Yeah, you gotta do a music video for that one.
Yeah. And you know what?
You got 16 bangers on here though, man.
First of all, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I want to do a video for that, but this COVID is making it so tough.
I know, man.
Because because hopefully that it still go through, but like I wanna be somewhere else when we shoot that video.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanna be somewhere else because that's a video where I feel like it's predicated on being somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that record is major though.
Yeah.
That record is super major.
Look, man, how long did it take you to put this body of work together?
Probably about a year.
Yeah.
Probably about a year. Because I had a lot of ideas and places of where I want to go. I was working on other music as well, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to, I just wanted something different. I wanted to give, okay, so let me do this. When I first created the project, I didn't know that it was going to be on BCG. So once me and Stolly talked and I heard that out, I kind of scrapped some songs and kind of really dug in and said, you know what, this is going to be my first project under this imprint. This imprint is going to bring more ears to me than I had at first. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that are tapped into Stolly and BCG that don't know anything about Gallo.
Yeah.
At the time, this is what I'm saying to myself. So I was like, I got to make sure that the project holds the value that it should. You know what I'm saying? Because the quality is there. The quality in the emceeing, the quality in the singing, the quality in the production, the quality in the mixing and mastering. I know that's going to be there. So I got to make sure that the content is delivered correctly.
So the songs that you scrapped from this album, how many? Is that how that? Because recently I heard a track with, now this was before we even talked about the interview. I heard a track with you and Michael and Stally.
Okay.
That was on the algorithm something?
Yeah, that was on the BCG.
Algorithm?
Yeah, that was on the BCG compilation project.
That was nice. That was nice
And
work.
it was actually me, Mike, and this dude named Truck North.
Okay.
And
there's another track with you and Stally.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and Truck North is an artist from Philly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Did do a lot of work with the Roots. He been on a couple of albums that the Roots had. Truck North is nasty. Super nasty.
Did that album, did that BCG project get some of the tracks that you scrapped from the album?
No. That song right there that me, Mike, and Truck did is actually, and they might kick me for this, but I mean, you know, it's Randy Wilson, man. we actually working on a project together, me, Mike, and Truck.
Okay.
That shit crazy.
Y'all,
man, that shit. I ain't gonna even talk about it. But that shit crazy. I'm talking about in the words of my man, supreme lyricism. And we just gonna leave it at that. So that song came from that project because I was struggling with, do I want to give a song off the album? Like, cause I didn't want people to be like, oh, this song right here, he just putting this on there because it was on the compilation. Now he throwing it on his album.
Yeah, I got
So I wanted to keep the album separate, and we got plenty of heat. Or as an artist, you should have plenty of heat.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be confined to just picking from 16 songs.
Yeah.
We got plenty of heat. That song is crazy. So we was like, okay, Mike, chop it up, mix, master it.
Yeah.
Let's put that joint on the grill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was nice, man. I was curious if any of those tracks came from this, just because of trying, but the production was different. So But your storytelling is consistent throughout all your music. I was trying to really figure that out. I went back to the algorithm.
Right.
I started listening. I was like, no, that's a different pocket.
Right.
That's a different pocket. Because where you at with this thing right here, I would imagine that you would say this is one of your probably your most intimate pieces, you think?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I gave it the name Vantage Points, because it's just different views from different perspectives.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even that song with me and Nick, that's a perspective. That's a perspective. That's how people felt. That's how we feel. Like that's how people felt at a time, you know, and given that second verse was a different perspective. The songs on there are perspective based, and it's just coming from a real standpoint.
Yeah.
Like you said, like an intimate standpoint, but it's just I just want you to peep these different perspectives and its vantage points in the music that I'm creating. I never did a song like that with me and Chris Gallo. It's other songs on that album that I never tapped into those pockets.
You showed a difference. I mean, I think you would continue to expand. I mean, you've been rapping for a minute, and I've listened to a lot of the boom bap. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you just got more into your artistry here. You just expanded. So we're really excited about that project. I could say a lot of things about it. I'm not.
Say it though, like.
Well, I mean, I don't want to go in. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about the tracks. I can't say the girl's name. Well, she's on there though, I think.
Who? Singer?
Yeah.
Francois.
Yeah, I like
Francois
that.
is impeccable.
I mean, when I went and listened to it, as I was going through it, I checked all the features to see what that was like. Then I went back and listened to the other ones.
I got you.
And I mean, but all of them are singles.
You know
all
what?
of them are singles.
Shout out to Michael Millions, because Mike told me one day, he said, nigga, you got an album full of singles.
Bliss.
He's like, yo, bro, you got an album full of singles. Like, any of these songs can fly.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted
It's a special project. I mean, Richmond's been putting special projects out this year, though, for real.
What? Listen to me, man. Listen. I feel like Richmond, musically, is in the best place it's ever been in.
And you would know.
Ever.
Because you've been musically involved in Richmond your whole life.
Facts. I feel like the people that are at the in that upper echelon from the city that's doing music, they're more open. They're creating more avenues for other people. Because when we were younger, won't nobody creating no avenues for us. Like, it was doors slammed in the face. It was nah, or it was promises of, we gonna do this, and then nothing happens. Like, shoot, I take somebody like Radio. Radio do the battle joint, the little platforms where if you coming from the city and you an artist, young dude trying to make it, he giving you a platform where somebody is recording, videoing you, recording you, giving it to you, and then you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
We won't get in that when we was younger.
Yeah.
We was shooting our own shit. Monse is probably one of the dopest videographers that I know. He's shooting shit for Quincy, Diddy's son, shooting stuff for people in Australia. But Monse started shooting videos because we didn't have nobody else to do it. And he was a graphic designer. He went to school for it, but he was doing mixtape covers and album covers, but we had nobody to shoot videos. So guess what Monse did? Picked up the camera and started shooting videos. Like, we didn't have anybody to give us these outlets that I feel like the upper echelon now in the city is affording to people. Like, look at how, I don't want to name names because then people going to be like, dang, so the people I don't name, they not in the upper echelon. Yeah. So, but just people is reaching down, reaching laterally, and helping pull people up, man.
Yeah, I piggyback off that because I agree. I think that I agree, but I think it's interesting on the opposite side. So I would say that the upper echelon, I think for our demographic, when we think about the upper echelon MCs, we're talking about people who can rap first, and they give back to the community, and they are visible. They make their presence known, but they can rap. That is an immediate requirement. Now, sidebar. it's crazy to me as a blogger, right, to see how these young trap artists who can't rap have the ability to gravitate and reach more people in masses. I'm seeing this, and I'm trying to understand how they're doing it because they can't rap, but they can like you know like the RVA Rap Week, for example. It sells out every time. It brings in 100 to 150 rappers, real rappers. But there's a lot of people out there who don't know about the Rap Elite, but they got 50,000 followers on Instagram in the street. That to me, that's what's crazy.
Yeah,
I ain't figured that out.
It's crazy, but it's a shift in the culture too, and you just have to,
because they're not considered upper echelon, as far as Richmond hip hop,
right?
But you can't knock their social media. You can't knock their platform.
You can't knock their presence. You can't knock their hustle.
Yeah.
And it's just different now. Me personally, I feel like when I was younger, the emphasis was more on the culture, the culture of hip hop, like the culture of music, not just hip hop, but music in general. Like people tap more into it because it was the culture of it. I feel like now a lot of times, a lot of artists look at this like another hustle.
Yeah.
And that's the difference to me. Yeah. That's one of the differences. It's a lot of differences.
I agree with that.
But that's one
because they'll take the music for the hustle, then they'll grab the shirts for the merch, and then they'll figure out something else to incorporate in that. And now, you know what I'm saying?
And just another hustle.
It's operation, yeah.
I don't give a damn about the culture shit. I'm gonna make my money.
Yeah.
Like that's how a lot of artists approach it now, and that presence is visual through. So because social media is more prevalent now. Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying?
It's like when I'm listening to people, or people are pitching stuff to me on the internet, it's hard for me. I try to be objective and I try to present it at least non-biased, but you know, I like what I like. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so it's hard for me sometimes to like, I may not like the music, but I see there's value in the platform. And I'm trying to stretch and grow. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to learn and understand because that's why Fab and Jadakiss are relevant as like they are because they are able to gravitate to the youth where they're children's age folk and still wrap it up, but they're also able to, you know what I'm saying, do both, man. Look, because we wrapping up close to time, we got like 9-10 minutes, and I gotta switch the topic real quick to close it.
Okay.
And talking about the time.
Okay, and let me just say one thing to what you just said. Okay. Wise person told me, be the seaweed. Like you gotta go with the flow of the ocean. Like can't be the rock that that form is there, but you gonna always be a rock. Yeah. Seaweed never loses the ability to be seaweed, but if the current is flowing this way, it's gonna flow this way. Good stuff. Yeah. I just wanted to put that in. All right, but
that was a bar for that's a bar.
Yeah, bars.
Yeah.
Bars.
Yeah. So I want to get your feedback, man. And then we close this little game I like to do, but I seen you and a lot of Richmond's elite artists down at the statue for the picture with RBA Mag. Can you just speak to your take right now on the time? The time from the standpoint of, there's a lot of people out there who feel like we are in the midst of making real change. What do you feel right now as this time? And I want to keep it focused on the city for the moment. Okay,
on the city. I personally feel like that it is change being made. Because number one, from my standpoint, from my visuals, it's a lot of things that have taken place since I've been in Richmond. A lot of significant issues all over the nation. That shit been crazy.
Yeah.
This the first time I've ever really seen Richmond stand up and protest the way that they did. So they say that the shudder of a butterfly's wings can cause a typhoon on the other side of the world.
Bro, come on, man.
So when I'm looking at my city and I'm looking at my city doing this, I can see the reverberation all over the nation. Cause my city, we ain't never, like we done had little pockets of protesting here.
They was protesting last night.
Yo,
City Hall.
We ain't never had. this is a red state.
Yeah.
This ain't no blue state. For those that don't know, this is not a Democratic state. This is a Republican state.
Where marijuana just got decriminalized.
Come on, man.
That's
this is a
crazy change right there. $25 fine for y'all, just so y'all know if it's less than an ounce.
Listen, man, this the Commonwealth. Like, to see graffiti on statues, to see buses burnt up, to see... Now, the rioting was a little crazy, but that's...
It comes with it, unfortunately.
It comes with it, man. Pluses and negatives. But to see all of that lets me know that change is happening. And it's a good thing to see, man. Like, it's a real good thing to see that change happening, because this is a state where it's not a lot of... this is not a melting pot.
Yeah.
Like, when you in that VCU area, maybe, but once you start to migrate outside of that VCU area, it's real cut and dry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Real black and white. And just to see the things that people are doing, you know, to see people that are not black out there helping my people while we're protesting, they out there bringing water. I got a homeboy that's damn near been at every protest. And he said every time we out there, people that are not black are bringing us water, making sure we good, making sure we okay. And, like, that's just not something in this Commonwealth that you see a lot of.
Yeah.
And it's still the hate out there, because, of course, the hate going to be out there because the president is the number one pusher of the hate. People feel comfortable hating because the president is an advocate for that.
He's enabled it, yeah.
He definitely enabled the shit. So, but to see people out there that aren't black helping people, you can see that real change, man. To see the cops out there, Mason shooting the rubber bullets, and the crowd is a melting pot.
Yeah.
It ain't all black. It ain't all white. It ain't all Latino. It's not all Hispanic. It's a melting pot of people that want change in this city.
A couple things I've seen is that I've seen posts where, you know, all black people are not your friends and all white people are not your enemies.
Fact.
And in order for us to push through this, we need all those white people who are really down to help change, or those brown people, or whatever the case is. We need them all. So I appreciate you giving us that piece there, because some people will receive that interpretation from you better than maybe anyone else they can hear it from. You know, so that's a piece I definitely want to cut up for folks to gravitate
yes, sir.
to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got 3 minutes here. I got to ask you these questions, man.
All right,
fast.
come on.
Don't think.
Let's go with it.
Don't think.
I ain't gonna even think.
All right.
Okay.
Childhood crush.
Ooh, like what you want? The name?
Yeah, I ain't talking about I ain't talking about like the girl from With or nothing. I'm talking about celebrity.
Oh! I was getting ready to say, boy, you trying to get me killed. Childhood crush. Salt from Salt and Pepper.
Wow, that's the first time I heard that one.
Yeah, facts.
I like Spinderella from Salt.
Yeah, man, I was dumb young, but that was a man video. I was too young to be looking at that joint, but them thighs sticking out that goddamn silk, boy, was crazy for a young kid.
Who's your squad in basketball?
Oh, Lakers. All day.
Me too.
All day.
Okay, there we go.
All day. Bron and them boys.
I've been a Laker since Magic, Tony Smith, Sadell Threet. I went with every guard,
Man,
Michael Thompson. We can go all the way back.
Mamba mentality, always.
Yeah. Jada or Fab?
Fab.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Dang, we
I love Jada, though. Don't get it twisted. But I don't know, man. Fab just
cool, man.
I like Fab bodies of work more than I like Jada's bodies of work. Jada has great songs, but them soul tapes, or Fab might get in his bag with the Friday night freestyles. Fab talk that shit.
I like Jada. I love Jada, but I like him as a feature.
Yeah,
sometimes
facts,
more
facts,
than his whole album.
Facts.
All right. What can we what can we expect in this year from Joey Gallo? I know that it's really hard to say. We know the album's coming, but like, are we gonna be able to get a show? Or can we get a virtual show?
Right.
Or like, how are you going to expand your artistry with this new music? Because we gotta we're gonna hear it, but we gotta
see it. Well, I'm definitely shooting videos, and I'm finding creative ways to. I'm just gonna leave it at this for the visual aspect. I'm finding creative ways to get things accomplished the same way I would when I put music out.
Gotcha.
So that's what I'm trying to find. I don't want to let cats out the bag and stuff. I'm just trying to find creative ways, but I'm definitely shooting videos. Like, I'm definitely shooting videos. I'm putting out more music this year. Cause people been waiting for me, man. I'm an absorber. Like, sometimes I just feel like I don't want to give you the microwave meal. I don't want to give you 16 microwave meals. I'm gonna give you 2 of grandma's home cooking.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like, I might not give you 16 projects, but these 2 meals is gonna be 2 of the best meals you ever had, or these 3 meals, or however many meals. Like, you might not be like, damn, I can't get the fast food from Gallo the way I want, but I'm gonna give you grandma's cooking.
Gotcha. Two more questions.
Okay.
How are you going about, just like how are you going about this corona situation? Do you feel like you're reacting as you should? Do you feel like you're overreacting? Are you scared? Or where's Joey's mindset as it pertains to corona?
Listen, I'm a conspiracy theorist. So we could go down deep rabbit holes with this corona shit. Like, man, but just as far as how I'm moving responsibly, because I have a child at home. Like, I got a family at home. Like, I can't bring that shit home to the family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to bring it home to the family. I don't want to endanger myself or my family. So I make sure that I stay away from a lot of stuff. Because how I do shit, listen, man, I done did it. Well, I ain't gonna say I done did it all, but I done did a lot. Like, I done traveled, I done been places, I done experienced things. So I'm not going. It's nothing that, like, do I want to go out or do I want to not have the COVID? That's how I weigh stuff out.
Yeah.
Because people may, oh man, COVID this, COVID that. But you don't know who people been around.
Yeah.
You don't know who people been around. You don't know who this person been around. You don't know who that person been around. Like, you don't know. So you move, man, I be seeing people's story timelines. Nigga, everybody hitting the hookah, everybody drinking it. I'm like, damn, niggas in the club, no mask on. I'm like, word?
Yeah, I think everybody got smoke solo these days.
Ain't no like, that's how we living? Like, dang. So, yeah, I don't play with the corona, and I think that joint is serious. I truly think that they engineered that joint. Like, I'm a firm believer of the 52 fake out. And that's where they had you looking left, but you need to be looking right. And this corona shit is something to keep you looking left.
Yeah.
Stay looking left. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just something to easily get distracted.
Yeah, I'm taking it safe too, but I agree with you on that looking left thing. Because it's fear or it's faith. It's one or the other. And looking left is never going to lead you right. So, before we close, Joey, man, let them know why they should rock with the Randy Wilson podcast, because the Blue Collar Gang is here.
Man,
so, like,
we
I know that it's getting ready to get exposed.
Man, we in the building. You should rock with Randy, first of all, and I told you off camera, like, I'd have done a lot of interviews, but your comfort level with constructing the interview, your questions that you asking, like, I appreciate that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, energy is neither lost nor destroyed.
Yeah.
It's only transferred.
Yeah.
So if the interviewer is unprepared or shaky, like, no matter how confident you are as the interviewee, you gonna still feel like, damn, you got it together. But like, off camera, I already knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I'm saying they should rock with you. Like, I'm stamping you, man. Are you a good dude? But I done seen you interview some of my closest friends. Yeah. So I already knew with time. Yeah. You know what I mean, that it was. But
I appreciate it, man.
You're a real one.
Hey, we could talk for hours too.
What?
We could talk for and maybe we need to do something else too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
maybe before we put this out, maybe we need to do like a IG or a Zoom, something to just let them know that we bringing this to them. Because I got a lot of things I didn't go in.
I know you didn't.
But trying to also be more respectful and efficient with time, and
I feel
because
that.
I know the listeners,
Right.
You know, so
Right.
we're gonna cut this up so that we can make sure that you all get all these pieces,
Yes,
all this
sir.
food.
Yes, sir. Home cooking, boy.
Yeah, Joey Gallo, episode 42 of the Randy Wilson Podcast. This project's been brought to you by Enso Media, so you definitely need to go check out the Enso Media firm.
Yes, sir.
Got a real nice setup over here, man. They done moved all up and down off that
Man,
boulevard,
this
man.
y'all look good over here.
Yeah, so-
Feel like I'm about to shoot a movie scene.
Hey, they do that too.
Yeah.
All right, y'all make sure y'all tune in to the Randy Wilson Podcast.